Hi Aquarius, welcome to your mid-October 2018 tarot and astrology reading. So thank you for all your likes and subscriptions, and let's see what we've got going on for Aquarius. So first thing I want to mention is that big full moon that is conjunct your ruler Uranus on the 24th of October, because it is affecting you in the side of the sky that rules home and it rules family, and this could be a somewhat surprising energy. You might hear some surprising news from a family member, like an immediate family member. It could be extended, but it's most likely immediate. There could be news about a sudden move. You might suddenly find your dream home. You might suddenly get a great deal on your dream home. Unfortunately, in some cases, someone might, that's looking for a house, find that the dream home has been sold. It really just depends. Hopefully the cards give a bit more perspective on what it is exactly in terms of that news. Whether it's positive or negative. Bear in mind, with Venus retrograding, so this can make sometimes a bit of the things that we're doing a bit shaky, so a little bit less stable than usual. Venus retrograde is strange. It's a strange part of the sky, and it happens every 2 years, but it never fails to make people a little bit more wobbly in terms of the way they interact with others, in terms of the way they spend their money. Big purchases are kind of a no-no, so to invest in a house isn't the wisest idea, but if it's a house you've been looking at long term, since long before Venus went retrograde, it could be a bit better in that sense. But I just want to point that out, that if you do lose out on something with this full moon, it's probably for the best, because Venus retrograde will shift the things out of your life you're not meant to have and that really aren't serving you. So look at it as a positive spring clean in the middle of autumn. Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, it is a spring clean. So let's see. We'll draw a goddess guidance card first. Oh. Sensitivity, white tarot. You're blossoming, you're becoming increasingly sensitive. Avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. So as I say, anything that's being removed, whether it is an environment, you know, your home, or if it is a relationship, it is for the better, Aquarius. So don't worry. You know, it is in Scorpio, and Scorpio is your, I think it's your 10th house, right? Yeah, it's your 10th house of career. So Venus retrograding there could mean that your money's a little bit up in the air at the minute as well. Some of you could be a bit financially strained or concerned. But let's see what we've got going on for Aquarius. Now I will move the camera so you can see the cards, but let's see what we've got for Aquarius. Oh. I'm pretty sure that was the King of Pentacles. So you could be dealing with an earth sign, or a banker, or a financial advisor, real estate agent even, but we'll see. First card up, the Hanging Man. So there have been delays, Aquarius. There has been something that has been a little long in coming. There's also a change in perspective, I think, regarding a situation or relationship. You are starting to change your mind on something. Some of you are possibly moving on from a relationship or moving on from an idea. There's something that you feel or fear that you have to let go and move on from. And being a fixed sign, change can be difficult. What is serving you is, interestingly, the Eight of Swords. So I think there is an end to anxiety regarding the situation. There's an end to the worry. Challenge position is Judgment. So the actual making of a decision has been the hardest part, Aquarius. And the outcome is the Ten of Cups. So this is quite clearly for the best and a change in circumstance for the better. What did I tell you? And underneath we have the Death card. So this ending is serving you. It could be regarding a Scorpio person. Especially because Judgment is here and the Death card. And I know I have said this in the last reading, a lot of Aquarians in the comments seem to go really, really, really hard at Scorpio, but please don't, because hi, we're only here to help. But my moon's in Aquarius, so I get it. Even I have trouble with Scorpio sometimes. So let's move the camera onto the cards and see what we've got, Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. So listen, I'm seeing something that's reached its conclusion, but the conclusion may not be exactly what you think it is. This could be a lot to do. Now, I do base a lot of my cards on astrology as well, so it's a mix of the two. I do think with Venus retrograding, something that ended may come around again. This could be many things. It could be to do with money, and it could be to do with love, of course, because Venus rules both. But basically, it's a situation that has had some kind of delay over and over and over, like a repeated delay. And this has made you feel very anxious. It's made you feel very uncomfortable. It's being in the dark has almost been the hardest thing. You know, with judgment and the challenge, the actual making of a decision was the toughest part. I do sense some of you, because judgment is in the challenge, I do sense some of you may not be completely happy with a decision that was made, whether it was yours or whether it was someone else's. I think there is some sort of concern about what was said or what was done. Because judgment in the challenge position for me can sort of represent a lack of closure on something. Like you're not entirely sure about the way things went. Okay, so I'm going to draw some clarifiers because I go around this 3 times to get the biggest picture possible. But rest assured, Aquarius, I hope this gives you a little bit of ease on the situation if the ending hasn't happened or the conclusion isn't what you thought it was or something. Because I do sense that there is a little bit of confusion still, even if something ended. But I want you to know with the 10 of Cups here, there's something good coming. There's something very good coming. I want to get into what that really is. Now, this could have been your decision to make. It might have been you that had to pull the plug on something, or you that has to pull the plug, or you that has to make the decision, because the Queen of Swords can be your energy. It can also mean that you're dealing with someone who's a little bit emotionally closed off, a little bit harsh. Yeah, it could be a fellow air sign. I'm seeing that someone may have rushed a decision because things were dragging on too long. It's almost like with the Hanging Man, there's this pause, 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 and then the Knight of Swords is just push. Someone makes the decision for you. Now the earth element, so work is coming up as being a positive thing. Maybe you're channeling your energy into work, and strength is coming up as the challenge. You're not comfortable with a decision that was made, whether it was from you or somebody else. The Magician, beautiful. You are manifesting your own happy ending, and you don't realize it, Aquarius. High Priestess. You or somebody else has made the right decision. Trust in that. Okay? Now let me see. Strength card and challenge. You're not feeling as strong as you like to feel. You're not feeling completely confident in what you've done. You're not feeling confident in a decision or someone else's. And that much is clear. However, in the positive position with the Knight of Pentacles, there could be good news coming on the work front. There could be good news coming in on a move, the home, all things financial. There's good things here, okay? So that's something to be focusing on. And as I said with the 8 of Swords, your anxiety in a situation, your feeling of being trapped and unable to move is being released. This Knight of Swords is coming in, and he's actually, I don't know if you can sort of see the symbolism of this. He's rushing in with a sword to cut the ropes which restrain her. Okay? He's rushing in to do that. Now, I know it looks like he's rushing away, but these are 2 very different positions, so this is the way I see it. He's rushing in, and then it's actually something more solid here. So this is a more solid decision than one realizes. I do think with such major arcana in the challenge position that this is something big. This is something you waited a long time for, and the result may not have appeared to be completely what you wanted right now. But for some reason, Aquarius, in a roundabout way, this is leading you to exactly what you want. And the difference is you can't see that. You know, you're really still here in terms of what you can see. The Hangman, your vision, your perception, your bird's eye view, you're looking from the ground up. In reality, if you could see it from Judgment's perspective, because you can't, that's why it's in the challenge position, if you could see it from the sky, this is bringing you to exactly what it is that you want. Because you're here, and you're upside down and your world's been turned upside down because something hasn't turned out the way you wanted it to, you think all is lost. It's not. Something that you wanted with the Magician and the Ten of Cups here, something that you really wanted, is happening, but it's not happening in the order you expected. This could be particularly important to note on the full moon when your ruler, Uranus, does make that conjunction to the moon, because you may see something that you wanted manifest, but not necessarily in the way you expected it to. But you have a gut feeling that things are going to be okay, even if your mind and what you see, your external reality tells you otherwise. But that's not the way it really is. Okay, so I'm going to go around this one more time. Ooh, something flipped. Seven of Wands, the King of Swords, the Sun, Temperance, and the Fool. Wow. And the Two of Swords is underneath. You were at a deadlock on something. You were at a complete deadlock. Let's see if I can put this here. So I think there may have been an argument too with a person about something. It's going to be a different thing for everyone else. So I'm not going to dwell too much into specifics, because I can see that for some of you it was regarding a relationship, for some of you it was regarding property or work. And for a lot of you, I do think sign-wise you're dealing with a fellow air sign. I do see Scorpio. Actually, to be honest, guys, don't worry too much if your sign isn't mentioned, you know, if you're dealing with a person. Because the way this is, every card is on the table, every sign possibility is on the table, so don't get drawn into it. We have all the fire signs, we have air energy, we have water energy, we have earth energy, so don't get bogged down. But what I want to tell you is that the new start with the Fool and the Ten of Cups and the Magician, you're manifesting a greater journey for yourself, you're manifesting a greater experience. You're manifesting a greater outcome. Then, as I said, you can see the sun blesses you. The sun is in your positive position, brightening up your journey. It's very much that song that says, I can see clearly now, the rain has gone, you know? And as I say, I get that it doesn't look that way. But everything that's happening is getting you to where you want to go, because this is a journey. This is an exceptional journey. The Magician and the Fool is carefree manifestation. Do you know what this actually is, Aquarius? And I want to be very, very specific on this one. This is you manifesting something you've wanted because you finally let go. The Fool is so carefree. You've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and in the indecision, your anxiety has grown. In the not knowing where you stand, your fears have grown. Everything has seemed darker, and you can't get what you want when you're in that place. Because you've released this, because something has been released, what you want actually comes to you better. It comes to you quicker. That's just the law of the universe. It's the one thing that I think a lot of fixed signs struggle with, is the actual letting go process. Like letting go of the outcome. It's not letting go of the dream, it's letting go of the outcome. Being okay regardless of what happens, but you're going to be more than okay. This Ten of Cups is promising you something huge, especially with the Magician. And Temperance in the challenge position and Strength, I do get that you feel like you're not making progress. I get that you feel like you're not healing from a situation. I get that you feel out of sorts. But this is something major, Aquarius, that you can't see. And when you see it, you're going to think, I knew deep down that it was meant to turn out that way. I know this isn't exactly a he said, she said type thing where I say the other person feels this way and the other person feels that way. I just see that there was some sort of conclusion that you didn't like, and it's
it has actually happened for the better, and you're being released from a Two of Swords, Hanged Man momentum. And the Knight of Swords indicates to me that when you have this letting go, things start to take off quite quickly, especially with the Ten of Cups and the Magician. More than one good thing is going to manifest, and I do think it's under the full moon. Now, I do have a video on the full moon. I'm not entirely sure I remember what the Aquarius card was. But I know it was good. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Aquarius, and I will see you in November. Bye.